Right, what's up, y'all? Welcome to Dance Discussions. We have a very special one. Uh, Glad I finally got a hold of him. We tried a little bit earlier last week, and there's some technical issues. But
Issue.
now
I
we
think it was age. I think it
it
was
could be,
definitely could be my
it could be
my
mine.
age. That
Yeah,
that's good. That's good. We can blame yours. I'm cool with that.
yeah. Let's do that.
Why
Yeah,
not? Why not?
yeah. We don't have to argue about it. Easy.
Right.
Cool. Well, I'm glad to have you. Welcome, Popula. Thank you so much for coming on to Dance Discussions, brother.
Thank you, brother. Thank y'all for having me.
Of course.
This is kind of awesome. Um, you know, and throughout all my dancing, I never thought I would be doing anything like this. You
Right.
know, or even sharing my perspective with people. And now here we are.
That's
And
right.
I'm proud of you. For what you're doing.
Yeah.
And like this almost fits you. I ain't gonna say almost fits you. It fits you perfect.
Uh,
Because you get along with everybody. So
well,
that's
I,
just
I
how it is.
try. I can't be perfect like Popular, but
Hey,
do
man,
what I
go on. I ain't getting along. You know my temperament, so I'm not even going. I smile a lot, but we already know. Uh,
can.
so, uh, yeah, man. Um, so I guess you was wanted to know a little bit where I started dancing and stuff like that, right?
Yeah, I think it's really important that people understand, when did you start dancing?
Mhm. Mhm. That's
Like where did you start seeing things? Where did you see popping? Obviously, you're just a good overall, well-rounded dancer, but we all know you for popping. So when did you start seeing that? Like when did you get in the culture?
okay.
Maybe we could
I
start there.
perfect. So I started dancing at the end of '98. The
Okay.
begin, being yeah, the beginning of '98. It was my junior year in high school, um, and it was only because I really wasn't doing well in sports. So I'm just gonna be straight,
Okay.
honest with you. My knees was coming out of place a lot, so I had that issue before I even started dancing. And then I just started dancing in school. Uh, just in high school, just picked it up,
Hmm.
and everybody around in my city, Fort Wayne, Indiana. I'm originally from Atlanta, Georgia,
Ah,
born, became a man in Fort Wayne, Indiana. Um, but we have our own dance style here. So I was, doing that, whatever. And then when I got into popping, it was in 2001, January 2001. The only reason I got into popping was because J Rock and Jedi Imperials was the crew that he was in.
It
He
was a
just
b-boy.
so happened, B-boy crew.
Uh-huh.
Um, and one of the members lived here, and one of his wife was Pringles, Jedi Glide or Coda now. Um, they were all in the same crew.
Mm.
So when he came through my city, we would just so happen to have a dance contest here. And he beat my cousin Grills, like in a contest. And Pringles beat me, but I was cool with that. But the way that J Rock beat my cousin Grills, I was like, January of 2001, I was like, I'm gonna learn popping, so I can battle J Rock.
Question.
Yes, sir.
Just because when I got into the game and I tried to get all the knowledge I could, because I saw Breezley and
Hmm.
he looked just like Wiggs because he was studying the VHS tapes and all that stuff. He lent me a video, so that was kind of like my first influence. But then I kept digging and I wanted more information, so I went online, found some stuff. I found the City versus City DVDs. Right? Is this around the same time that you got into popping, or is this a little bit after?
I Yeah, kind of. Um, the way I got into the popping and learning anything about popping, I would come across random clips like you got breaking, right? You
Yeah,
got Soul Train,
yeah,
with Afion. Afion was on there.
yeah.
I think this cat named A Flex. I think that's what his name had. Long ponytail. Because
Was
this
he
is
was he like light skinned and always had his shirt off?
light skin, real flexible. Like he'll drop down
Yeah,
and come
dude,
back
that
up. I
fool was
was like,
bad as hell. I never knew his name.
man.
Okay,
Uh, and then you had him. I think he was from Hawaii, but don't quote me on that. But I think J Rock told me he was from Hawaii at one point.
okay,
Um, uh, so I was influenced by a lot of what I would genuine. I
yes,
didn't have any reference point of what popping was. Actually, in my city, I was like, man, I'm gonna bring popping back. like, because there was no poppers. I was first influenced by flat top and animation in Chuko.
Okay.
That's
Yeah.
my first influence. And then
How did how
J
did
Rock
how
was
did you see them?
VHS,
Ah.
like some grainy footage. It wasn't even footage like
Yeah.
it was some like I had to tape, like the tape had broke. I had to use two pieces of I taped the damn footage together
Yeah.
so I could see the footage.
That's
Uh,
crazy.
I think it was some footage of flat top at Radiotron wearing a red jacket, black pants, and like he was really doing this thing. Like, I'm sorry, I'm all over the
No,
place.
no, no. Do it, do it, do it. It's good because there's a new generation that didn't have to go through that and understand that, and then it also makes me. It kind of spawned a question for me later on, about detail,
hmm
right? Because I think that's actually very connected with what we're talking about. But yeah,
Yes,
keep
sir.
going, keep
Yes,
going.
sir.
Yeah.
Uh, so I was learning all of that, and I had that influence. Started popping. So 2001, I started getting in all this information. Right, 2001. September of 2000, August or September of 2001, there was this jam called Scribble Jam.
Okay.
Scribble Jam was like an MC battle jam down in Cleveland. Um, and I, for some reason, got a flyer because it was a flyer, no internet. I
Yeah.
got a flyer and I was like, I'm gonna go battle J Rock. My only reason for being in this popping community is because I went to go battle J Rock. That's
And
the only reason.
where did you hear about J Rock, or did you see him? How did that come?
Jedi Imperials. I knew he was in the Jedi Imperials. In the Midwest, there's not a lot of events popping off.
Uh-huh.
Back in the day, you knew there was like one a year,
Mm-hmm.
right? So
Right.
you would train for that year to go to that one jam. That's just what I did because
Yeah.
I didn't have a whole lot of money.
Yeah.
So, but this jam, I was like Scribble Jam, and I got this flyer, and I just knew that they were just gonna be there. I had no idea. There weren't no popping contests at the
Yeah.
time on the dam. So it was just like, all right, uh, got there, he was there.
Mm.
Him and the crew was there. And somebody let him know that I was there to battle him. This before I had a name. Like some dude named Andre said he want to battle
Uh,
you. And I got down. J Rock didn't get down. I think I got down again.
uh-huh.
J Rock didn't get down.
Uh,
And then he said he wanted to build with me.
ah, interesting.
Shortly thereafter that battle, I was in ABM.
Got it.
And that was by way of Pringles because
Okay.
Coda lived in the city. That's his home city, Fort Wayne, Indiana. His
Okay.
wife was Pringles.
Right.
So now she's in the city and now she's feeding me videos like a flat top. And when it comes to the electric boogaloo style popping way of getting down, she introduced me to Frank Boogie, then
Oh,
Jazzy J.
wow. Yeah.
Frank Boogie. So when the first ABM VHS came out, I had just watched Frank Boogie and Jazzy J get down on VHS. So
Yeah.
everything that you see me doing on that first video
Yeah.
is all heavily influenced by Frank Boogie. More Frank Boogie than anything else,
Yeah.
rhythmically.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, 2002, we all know Frank Boogie. You know, like,
So for the new generation, because for his own reasons and whatever the reasons, right? Because I don't know. There's not a lot of footage of Frank Boogie, but then he has a huge reputation to the point where people were scared, which is huge. That's a big, big influence. What do you remember the most about Frank Boogie?
rhythm.
Mm,
Uh, his rhythm and vibe. I think that's what he wanted to push across. Even when you get down with him, his rhythm and his vibe more than anything else.
mm,
No, man, this vibe, to be, especially back then because it was raw.
yeah,
I ain't gonna say raw because it sounded like what he's doing now was not is not way doper than what it was. You know what I mean? But
yeah,
back then, when you know less, you feel freer to
Ah,
play.
yeah, yeah,
So he was getting this new information, already being a skilled dancer, and just kind of go on one.
yeah.
You know, like if you want to find footage, type in B-Boy Summit 2000.
Hmm. Yes. Didn't
If
he
you
be
want to try to
wearing like
find
one
it
of
on
these
YouTube.
hats, but like a little
Yes,
lighter? And he was like,
yes.
I think I know. Yeah.
Like that footage alone by itself, just from looking at everybody in the cipher, you can tell that he was on something else.
Uh-huh.
So, you know, Frank Boogie is a beast by like in and of itself. And then he was with this crew called the Boogie Brats.
Mm-hmm.
K Mel is a part of that crew as well, legendary B-boy.
Yeah, yeah.
You know what I mean? Like you could like just a Disco Dave is the founder of that crew.
Ah, okay.
I am correct. If I'm not, I'm sorry, Disco. Frank.
If not, we'll find out through him, right?
Yeah, yeah. Social media will kill you for it. Uh, you got it wrong.
Damn it.
uh, but it was a certain energy. People were scared of Frank. I was, I've, I've always gone into a situation. I was never scared to battle anybody. I
Right,
almost went into it like, yeah, you got what you got, but this is what I got. And if I was wrong, well, I'm gonna learn. That's the best way.
right. I like that. That's a great
Like,
mentality. Yeah.
so if you think back, every time I came to LA back in the day, I always battled a number of people in a very short period of time
Uh-huh.
because I was new. And if you looked at me in all respect,
Yeah.
it was like, okay, then we getting these rounds. And so,
Yeah.
yeah, that's just how I've always been, you
Well,
know?
yeah.
Uh, but yeah, I feel like I'm getting lost here. Um,
I do the same thing. I once I go down the rabbit hole, bro,
like
it's hard to get back. Yeah.
once you're talking about somebody else's lineage,
Hmm.
you can't help to go down this gambit if
Yeah.
you truly know what you're talking about. If
Right.
that person truly has some effect on you, it's gonna be a long branch off the trunk of that tree,
Yeah.
you know. And he had a huge and does have a huge influence on me now.
Mm.
Like
Yeah.
the energy, the electricity that he brought to a dance floor, that's something else, man.
Mm.
Like people are not scared of the technique. The people are scared. It's that unpredictable.
Yeah.
When you are rhythmically, it's before the era of the rhythmical breakdown. Boom, boom, boom,
Mm.
boom, 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 boom.
Right.
He
Right.
is before that era, but is also a part of it. You know, like when you have rhythm, you don't need musicality.
Mm-hmm.
That's like boogie.
Ah. Yeah.
When you have rhythm, your rhythm is so powerful by itself. You don't need musicality. Look at Jazzy J. You don't need musicality. Skeeter Rabbit, God rest us. You don't need musicality.
Yeah.
Disco Dave, you don't need musicality
Mm.
because if you are rhythm, you are already musicality.
Yeah.
It's only when you separate it,
Mm. I
you
feel you.
know.
Yeah.
So anyway, back to the trunk of the tree.
Okay.
Uh,
So you would say your early influences were Air Force Crew from the VHS tape,
yep.
and seeing
Wiggle,
was that?
Air Force Crew,
Yeah.
Flat Top.
Yeah.
I guess I put it Wiggles,
Mm-hmm.
J Rock,
Mm-hmm.
because I seen him, and then he had a video out called the Jedi Imperial video.
Oh, I've never
Uh,
seen it.
oh man, he also got a Boogie Boy. He also has another video out. J Rock does. It's called the
Okay.
Boogie Boy. It's a
Oh.
VHS. I
Oh.
had a copy and I lost it in my storage when they took my storage a long time ago. Like
Uh,
it, like oh my god, it was a VHS copy of Boogie Boy. So
yeah.
J Rock was an influence, but it wasn't. He wasn't doing the boogaloo stuff he was doing. I'm not gonna say it like that because it sounds disrespectful. He wasn't doing boogaloo
Yeah.
uh, like he is now. It was more like I don't know. It had more of an '80s effect to it. You know,
Right.
the Dita jacket type of vibe to it
Yeah.
back then.
Yeah.
That was his vibe back then. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? So And then he transitioned. By the time I met J Rock and started to build with him, he is now wearing hush puppies and
Right. Zoot suits, hat.
the
Yeah.
whole nine. But there was a transition into that,
Got it.
you know. And I think his transition happened as he grew more knowledge.
Yeah.
You know, he authentically just went
Right.
in that direction, you
Right.
know. So we all did. Um, and yeah, so J Rock, and then Frank Boogie,
Hmm.
Frank, and then Aki. Aki hit
Ah,
my
ah.
radar in 2002 at B-Boy Summit.
Okay. Yes. Is that when is that the first time he battled Sally Sly?
Yes,
Okay.
yep, yep. And J-Rock got food poisoning the night before.
Oh shit.
Uh, yeah, that's why in the clip he's wearing this blue shirt, but
Yeah.
the blue shirt is like
True.
damn, he's sweating.
Yeah.
Yeah, damn, he's sweating food poison. That man, like he was jacked up. But Aki he showed me how to make the crowd see rhythm that I was feeling. I didn't know how to express it then. I
Yeah.
do now.
Yeah.
Like he captivated people not by his move,
Mhm.
but the movement.
Yeah.
It was like how he placed himself with the music, and it was like, wow. And I was hooked.
Yeah.
You know, I was from that point I became like heavily influenced by Aki. You know, and yeah, man, my history is, I guess, is long now.
What?
So that's how that's kind of how I got started. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah. Yeah.
into the dance community. Uh, yeah, I remember everything about my journey on this.
Love it.
So,
Yeah.
what's some questions that I can, maybe share with the dance community that you know, they
Yeah.
don't know?
Um. Okay. So you teamed up with ABM, right?
Mm-hmm.
Uh, and then at that point, you were. I mean, you still are currently in the Midwest, but
Mm-hmm.
what was going on in the Midwest at that time?
There was city versus city. Uh, Popper wise, look, few and far between.
Okay.
Uh, 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 Cartoon, no, not cartoon. Few and far between.
Hmm.
There was one popper that he used to do sculptures and stuff like that, like hip hop sculptures. I think his name's not Cartoon, but yeah, Cartoon.
He was in City versus City, right?
Yeah,
Big.
Cartoon.
He was judging.
Yep,
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Cartoon was in this area, so he was an influence. But uh, yeah, you got your Chicago OGs, but they weren't prevalent in my history until later on.
Got it.
So they were there, they just wasn't in my sight
Yeah.
at that time,
Okay.
right?
Yeah.
Um, um, but nothing was happening, brother. Nothing was happening. It was b-boy.
Yeah.
So like in the Midwest, the reason why we dance the way we do because we had to get into the b-boy cipher. Hell, in city versus city, in the Midwest jams in general, you wouldn't know the jam was over until it was a fight at the end, or unless I was just showing up on the wrong days.
Yeah.
Like if it was like just the event's over, how you know they fought? How
Yeah.
you know why you know they're about to fight? Oh, they about to announce the winner. It was a call, city versus city.
Yeah.
So like
The
people take that
seriousness.
serious. So
Yeah.
it was about to be a fight. So and people didn't give a damn about your pop and shit back then. Like you
Mhm.
had to make yourself like rhythmically. They don't if you ain't rhythmically on point, they going you getting out.
Ah. Yeah.
So I started dancing to be able to combat that.
Right. So you almost had to be like rhythmically superior just to compensate for their athleticism and dynamicness.
Man, how do you beat a head spin?
Right.
Especially if somebody's not listening to the music in the same way.
Right.
Like, look at how rhythmical tops are.
Yeah.
Just, you know what I mean? And then those who are very skilled are very rhythmical on the ground.
Mm-hmm.
And those who have that perfect marriage, like, why not? For me,
Yes. Hell
or
yeah.
Wicked,
Yep.
Wicked,
Yep.
uh, and I'm bringing up cats, B-Boy Wicked, Flow Master. I'm bringing up people who are influenced. I was influenced by, you know, and then you still got people who are outside of the box like Ramon, you
Oof.
know,
Yeah, yeah,
how he would go, and you can't talk about Ramon without Ivan.
yeah.
So you can see
Dude,
where a lot of my rhythmical influences are coming from. It's not coming from the popping side of things. It's coming from the B-boy side of things.
mm-hmm.
I'm more surrounded by B-boys than anything else,
Yeah.
you know? So, um, and I had a bad habit back in the day of if my boy did waving function, my boy did robot, Bishop Don,
Yeah.
right? He used to be a member of ABM. And J-Rock, he had like that book feel, you know what I mean? Like, so that was his lane because
Yeah.
he wasn't quite into robot yet. That was Bishop's lane.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? So everybody has their lane, and I'm like, well, I don't want to do what y'all do. I'm gonna do what I do.
Ah.
So
Right.
that's why I didn't learn styles until later. My whole thought process was, I'm gonna see can what I do beat what you do.
Got it. Got it. So you didn't want to take on too much. You wanted to let yourself shine through first.
Well, since I come from being the best, trying to be the best dancer at school, then
Mm.
trying to be the best dancer at other schools,
Uh-huh.
and then others, and then teen clubs, trying to be the best dancer at teen club, and
Uh-huh.
then being trying to be the best dancer at the club, and
Yeah.
then trying to be the best dancer at the club in each city that
Mm.
surround where I was, and
Yeah.
then each state that surround that. Like
Yeah. I get it.
that's my
I
that's
get
my mind state.
Yeah.
Even in the popping thing, like, oh, okay, I heard that Bop and Andre used to go to every city and battle everybody in every city.
Mm.
That was the so, but at the time where I got that information, I thought that they meant nationally.
Mm.
So when I heard that legacy, I was like, oh shit, he went to everywhere in the United States and battled in every city.
Yeah.
What did I start doing?
Going to every city. Yeah.
Because of just hearing about that legacy. And then Frank Boogie. Frank Boogie was like an urban legend in the dance community, still is.
Yes.
And I kind of wanted to have that mystique as well.
Mm. Yeah.
It's like, you hear about him, he has a lot of respect. You don't see much footage of him.
Mm.
And if you look at me on YouTube, you gotta intentionally try to find me on YouTube. You can't just you can't type in Popula. You're gonna have to go.
Now you get some. You'll get some if you type in popular.
Yeah, you will. You'll get a whole bunch of lectures. Um,
Let's add an interview to that. Let's do that. Let's throw that on there too. Yeah.
oh, but but it's the truth though. And but I also embodied that. Be careful of the person that you look up to,
Mm.
because you will embody their MO as well as if
Mm.
you're not careful.
Right.
The thing that you love about them is you'll start to adjust yourself to fit that MO.
Mm.
You know, so anyway, I feel like this is gonna be a crap interview. No, I
No,
don't. No, I don't. I
amazing.
don't feel that. I just all over the place, and I always have been. So,
Wow,
um,
great stuff. So yeah. So you're finding yourself within the crew, right?
right,
You're finding your identity because you're seeing what's going on. You're like, all right, that's cool, but let me do me.
right.
And then from there, what's happening with that? Like Midwest, is it changing at all at that point?
Midwest is understand. I'm in my own bubble.
Hmm.
Midwest is changing, but I'm in my own ecosystem.
Yeah.
I always have been. B-boys, there's B-boys building everywhere. Poppers are there. You had technology out of Ohio. You got Flex and them out of Ohio. Flex from Zulu, Mighty Zulu
Yeah.
Kings.
Yeah.
Eclipse out there, but I'm not as tapped into everybody else.
I see.
I'm just I've always been alone.
Yeah.
So I just kind of just rep the Midwest. I ain't gonna say alone because I was in ABM with Pringles. We was in the same state, but
Yeah.
even then, I kind of did things alone.
Mm.
You know, like I didn't even practice really until I didn't really start practicing until 2006, 2007.
Mm.
I My practice was going to the club.
Yeah. Yeah.
I would practice on Friday and Saturday. You rest on Sunday. Give it to Jesus.
Yeah, 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 yeah.
and,
Right.
and then uh, go do what I was doing. The only time I would dance was on the weekends.
I
So
see.
for the first 4 or 5 years of I didn't even practice.
Mm.
I just would take some. I would see somebody do something. Say you were. I learned a pivot.
Yeah.
I would take that pivot to the club. In the club, I would dance that pivot in the club like
Yeah.
I was. They'd be like, "Man, what kind of pivot is that?"
Yeah.
Well, some people call it crazy legs.
Okay. Right. Right.
It's a series of pivots.
Yeah.
But I would go to the club and treat it like it was regular dancing. So
Ah.
when you ask, or somebody was like, "Man, your footwork is different." I've been in the club for the last 5 hours dancing with people
Mm. Yeah.
while doing that. So after you do it for so long, it's not you're not doing a move anymore. You're just grooving,
Yeah.
and you learn how to do it everywhere. And so that's where my footwork comes from.
Damn.
If,
Yeah.
if that, um,
Well, I think that's great because unfortunately nowadays the club culture has changed dramatically, and it's not like it's not there at all. I mean, right now
it's
probably not
different.
because there's everything on lockdown, but in a general sense for this generation, uh, music has changed. Uh, I feel that's the biggest influence, and that's really changed the club culture. All these dances, you don't have to be great at them, but at the same, on the flip side, it allows us to be social in a different way. So it also has a plus side to it, in my opinion.
Hmm.
But yeah, it's like there's a lot of missing things. So I think it is important for the new generation to hear how beneficial the club atmosphere is.
Yeah, man. Because I came up in that Little John era, like
Mm,
uh, Nuck if you buck era.
mm,
Like I would be that guy, like Nucking in the Little John era. People would huddle up in the circles and be like,
yeah.
"Hey," and they're really going in, right?
Uh-huh.
And it'd be get super aggressive. So I would jump in somebody else's circle and be in the middle of their shit. I don't even know them,
Yeah.
but I would try to like. I don't. I've always been. I would try to vibe out and then get them to love it too. Like
Mm,
picture all your homies in one circle,
yeah.
vibing out, really not trying to mess with nobody. And
Yeah.
then this random dude that you
Yeah.
don't know
Right.
come over there and jump right in the middle. But
Yeah.
he vibing so much, y'all like, hey,
All right. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
hey. That has always been my vibe.
For me, that I've had two of those experiences, and usually it's the other one, which is this drunk motherfucker get the fuck out the circle, right?
But I also
But
used
then
to
yeah,
like to
on
bring
some
them.
occasions we have someone like you who actually knows what the fuck is up and is just trying to catch that vibe, and then there's the other side of it.
Like,
More of those.
because it's like catch, like, I don't know, man. I just felt comfortable like that. Like
Yeah.
I've always been alone, even though I got my core people that are my brothers. Grills is one of them. You know
Mm.
what I mean? Function is one of them. You already know my brother. Uh, that's just how I've always been though.
Yeah.
Like I'm not gonna be scared of them just because they vibing out. That's how I feel too. Let me go vibe out too. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
I've always just done that. So me coming up in the club in that era, dancing and popping in that when I battle you, it's gonna look different.
Mm-hmm.
You
Yeah.
know, like I'm used to battling cats in the club looking at me talking about I don't want to say the words because it'll mess up your you know what I mean?
I
But
already said that
you know
shit, so you do whatever you want.
Little John music, like it comes with a level
Uh-huh.
to it. Like you can fight to it.
Yeah.
It
Yeah. Yeah.
felt fight.
Yep.
Like, you know,
Yep.
ATL stomp. Like, look at the dance ATL stomp. That
Yeah.
is literally if you fail. Uh at least you got your butt whooped on beat. Like they were respectful. Uh
It shit reminds me of the Warriors movie. Remember the
oh,
motherfuckers dropping the elbows and shit?
man, look, before I even knew anything about dancing, I was in Stone Mountain High School in Atlanta, right? And this cat name his name just so happened to be Andre, right?
Oh,
But he was Diesel. He was the opposite of
uh,
me. So he was like,
yeah.
right? So he go. It was Friday, and he come back on Monday, and he
Hmm.
got a black eye. And I'm thinking, well, who give Andre a black eye?
Yeah.
Like Andre, for one, Andre, my complexion. So for one to get a black eye is real hard to do. I'm stupid as hell. Uh, Hey y'all, I tell jokes. You don't like it, just hit me in my DM. I still won't care, but I'll at least listen. Uh,
That's an outlet, Dre.
uh, um,
So
he
yeah,
came through with a damn black eye.
yeah,
He was like, I was like, hey, what happened to you? You
yeah,
know? And he
yeah.
went, well, I fell. I was like, what you mean you fell? Yeah, we was in the club getting down, and I was the one that fell. So
Ah,
they and I was like,
yeah.
you still cool with them? Yeah, they rolled home with me. What?
Yo,
So I'm just saying,
that's
when
different.
it comes to Little John's music, there's a certain tension that comes with it. So
Yeah,
uh me dancing to that back in the day,
yeah.
yeah, had an effect.
Got it. I got
You
it.
know what I'm saying? Like, and these cats dancing today, there it's a different vibe
Yeah.
that comes with dancing today.
Mm.
And it's less there's I don't want to say there's less expression because okay, if you could equate expression to energy given
Yeah.
in a social club environment,
Mm.
there's less energy given
Mm.
in this climate when it comes to social dances.
Right. Right.
Like, if you look at the 90s, look at how much energy was given,
Mm.
right?
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Now, let's go forward from there. The chink, like, we still had a lot of dances going on in the 2000s, late 90s, 2000s, right? Missy, everybody doing their thing.
Yeah.
Soldier Boy kicking in. And
Mm.
then there's a start changing
Yeah.
from there, the
Mm.
social and how you got down with somebody.
Right. Makes
You
sense.
know, unless you were from certain cultures like the Jamaican Caribbean culture or the kind of Africa. You know, I don't want to speak out of pocket because I don't want to. But outside of your cultural dancing,
Mm-hmm.
if especially that wasn't popping.
I see.
You know, hopefully I didn't lose nobody with that. If I did, we got edit, I guess. Uh,
Yeah.
oh man.
What's interesting. It kind of popped into my head was when I first finally seen you. I was already aware of you because, like I said, I was digging. Like I was looking for kind of like how you were with Frank Boogie and Air Force Crew. You were looking for information. I was kind of the same way. I wanted to know history. I wanted to put names to faces, movement, understanding how it worked.
Mhm.
And so, I was aware of, City versus City. When ABM came out with their first video, I seen that, and that was a big influence for me for sure. And then just hearing your story, and then when I finally seen you in 2005, when it was
Mhm.
that big crew battle, um,
Oh, that was 2004.
yeah, 2004,
2004.
the West was one.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
So when that happened, obviously, I think you did an incredible job at that point, way ahead of your time, in my honest opinion.
Respect.
And just hearing your story about like you didn't really train uh, outside of the club, your training was the club. It really makes a lot of sense because of your range of motion, your freedom, your energy. Like all these all these different things. Your battle mentality was just as strong as maybe in the 80s, but so different at the same time, and that just goes along with what you're used to. And
Mhm.
then bringing that to LA and bringing it to a popping battle and doing so well, it makes a lot of sense because you weren't trying to show some shit. Like you were like, I'm dancing now.
I'm dancing now.
Yeah,
And
I'm dancing now.
the bad part about it, when people said I dance different,
Yeah.
up until maybe a couple years ago, I
Hmm.
still didn't understand what that meant.
Uh-huh.
Because when you would do the Fresno and then I would do the Fresno, you'd be
Hmm.
like, now what's that? And I would go, well, that's the Fresno.
Uh-huh.
And you go, no, 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 sir.
Hmm.
And because I was used to dancing all my techniques like I was at the club,
Yeah.
I would do it everywhere.
Right.
So
Right.
in my mind, what the Fresno was,
Yeah.
it never seemed to like it's the most frustrating thing ever. But I'm also dyslexic, so the way I understand things is a little shifted.
I
You
see.
know? So uh so when you would do this, I didn't equate to the fact that I was doing all this.
Right.
I'm unaware.
Ah, I see.
I'm just
You
feeling it.
dancing. You dancing. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
I'm dancing,
Right.
and y'all going, man, what's that? All of that.
Yeah.
I'm going, what, man? I ain't doing nothing but the Fresno. Like,
I feel
and
that.
I go ahead.
Yeah. Well, the way I look at it is if you know the history of it, which you know, but if people know the history of it and why it is what it is and how it became like more of a drill and a teaching tool,
Mm-hmm.
then then it makes more sense why you're doing it that way because that's the progression. That's where it's supposed to go, as opposed to, hey, I'm drilling this technique. Like it started off as a routine and they kept fucking up. So then they started over and then they realized, hey, this is tuning up my pop and it's giving me all these great things. And then that's why it was used as a teaching tool. But in reality, people don't dance that way. So what you're doing is you're taking from that movement and you're just dancing. So it makes
Correct.
sense to me.
That's all. And what you see is any technique or style I know, I make it so it's just like two stepping, or I'm just using that as an example to express what dance, right? In
Yeah.
a social way. I take every technique and I treat it as a two step.
Mm.
In doing so, it makes it me able to do it anywhere and everywhere.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and especially now that I'm really focusing on the styles that I'm doing and not just the because that it got to a certain point where the only thing I was doing was popping. That's my thing. Popping is my thing.
Yeah.
And I wanted to be okay, you wave, I want to okay, my popping is gonna beat your waving. That
Uh-huh.
was my thought process on everything. But shit, I lost where I was going. Crap.
It's okay. How about this? So, kind of moving forward, maybe like about a year after that, if I'm not mistaken, um, you had like a hell of a round at what was it?
Back
B-Boy
to the back.
Summit. At B-Boy Summit. So maybe 2 years then, maybe 2 years ahead. Because I'm going off of my timeline, which is LA. So it's
Oh, okay.
totally different from
B-Boy
yours.
Summit 2003. And then you got 2006, me
Yes, 2006.
2000. And I didn't even get past prelims.
That's
That
the
was
thing. That's the thing. And this is where from what I see and also I've heard things, but I can't go off of that. I just have to kind of formulate my own opinion. So maybe I can
right,
confirm it with you.
right.
Uh, do you feel like because of that moment and because they didn't put you past because they said something about you weren't popping, did that motivate you to elevate your popping?
In
No.
2006, I was going through a transition period.
Uh-huh.
Like I had just understood something about the way Pete danced,
Uh-huh.
and it made things click. And I was like, he's just grooving. Because at a certain point, I got disconnected from me being this dancer,
Yeah.
and the community and what a popper was.
Ah, yeah.
And when that disconnect happened, it was not that I got so left behind, and it was more like it stayed close, but not close enough to really meld very well.
Yeah.
So I was learning something new about myself. And B-Boy Summit, I was grooving, and then I had to go against, it was me and Junior Boogaloo in the prelim, like last prelim matchup.
Uh-huh.
And they didn't say I wasn't popping, but what they did do, they was like, all right, switch styles.
Oh.
When they said switch styles, the only styles I had in my mind, Spider-Man style,
Oh shit.
Sleepy style.
Yo, that's crazy. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Like,
All
so
these styles that Pete made, that's crazy.
I
Yeah.
started going into because I'm not trained as a style dancer. I'm a dancer who knows how to pop.
Got it. Yeah.
I'm not any more than that though,
Ah,
right?
right.
Skill wise. I'm just being respectful to everybody else's skill. You know what I mean? So when I remember the move, and I've seen him do this move before. It was a move like he was snaking backwards,
Okay.
like his body was literally doing this, going backwards. And
Mm.
I went over and got my towel. I think I had a water on stage.
Uh-huh.
I picked it up and
Yeah.
I started walking on the stage. And I went, he got that, and I walked off the stage. And before I can get off the stage, Sugar Pop got up and went, he's one of my favorite dancers here.
Ah,
But what that showed me with Junior Boogaloo, I'm always honest. I had nothing in my repertoire that's gonna beat whatever the hell that just was.
right. Right. And he was on one that entire event. Like he was just
And anybody who knows him knows why he was really, outside of being on one, he was really on one at that event.
100%. Yeah.
But I'm always big on picking up the energy and stuff. And when I don't concede the battles for nothing. You
Mm,
hear me?
yeah.
Like you got to really win. And when I saw that wasn't even a battle, but even my soul went, no,
Mm,
that ain't meant for you.
I see. Yeah.
Whatever he trying to express, I don't have anything to beat that.
I see.
But
Yeah, yeah.
yeah, that moment, the only thing that got me to change and make myself a little bit more stronger is the fact that the criticism I would get online.
I,
That's what made my
mm,
popping
mm,
become stronger. It
yeah.
was like, oh, so everybody got something to say.
Uh-huh.
And
Yeah.
I'm not good at people. I'm not good at talking online. I never have been.
Mm,
Like, if you know me, there's only so much I'm gonna tolerate
right.
in my past, right?
Yeah.
So
From what I understand, you'll talk a little bit and then you're gonna switch over to, okay, do you want to fight or dance?
you want to fight or dance,
Yeah.
and dancing is the lighter of the two. And
Yeah.
then if you talk to a point where dancing is no longer relevant,
Then code red. Yeah.
and thank God I haven't had to do that. I've never had to in the dance community. I've gotten close,
Mm-hmm.
but I've never had.
That's good.
You know, because that's why I came in the dance community.
Yeah.
So I didn't have to.
Right.
I'm used to getting jumped.
Mm, I got
So I came into the dance community, you prepared to get jumped physically.
you. Yeah.
And it's like, oh, all y'all gonna do is dance against me? Then I'll battle your whole crew. Mind you, my first
Yeah.
big battle was big battle for me because
Yeah.
I was studying their footage for so long, was
Mm,
Chuko and animation.
yeah.
That's my first big OG battle.
Uh-huh.
So to
Yeah.
battle the people I seen on video and Flat Top beat me without doing nothing. Like, like Flat Top beat me with a phrase that has affected my whole dance life up until now,
Wow.
which is he saw me get down. I had just got through battling. It was me, J Rock, and I want to say, yeah, I know it was me and J Rock there. And we just got through battling K, Guchan, and
Uh-huh.
one of those students, and everybody was watching it, right? And
Yeah.
I came in, and uh, Flat Top was like, I heard you was talking that stuff because I was picking on him. I was picking on him the day before. I got my thoughts together. I was picking on him because he didn't show up the first day, but the second day he showed up. But I was like, Flat Top at? Man, where is Flat Top ass at? I was picking on his hair. I was picking on everything. So he show up Saturday,
Yeah.
ready, and I'll go, hey, let's battle.
Yeah.
So I battle. I go against Flat Top. Flat Top go, no, that was good. No, that was good.
Mm-hmm.
Everything you just did, but not do it on beat.
Oh shit.
Soon as he said that,
Mm-hmm.
I went again.
Mm-hmm.
But now it's in my head.
Right. Right.
Then they go 5 minutes until prelims.
Damn.
Flat Top is one of the reasons I dance the way I do now.
Yeah.
Because after that, I calmed down.
Ah. Yeah. Oh, sound went off.
Oh,
Okay.
I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah, it calmed me all the way down.
Mm.
So if it wasn't for him, I would not have been able to battle Chuko in animation that evening.
Wow.
If it was not for him, because if I didn't learn how to calm down, do everything you just did on beat, you know how soul crushing that is when all you have is rhythm?
Mm. Yeah.
All you got is a hit and rhythm. And
Yeah.
he goes, yeah. Now just do all that movement, do it on beat. Man, you'll kill him.
Right. Right.
I did exactly what he said. By the end of that day, Wiggles and all the EPs that were there was like, you got this.
Oh shit. Yeah.
And the threat at the time was Sally Sly. Because he won the year. No, I think he lost the year before that. But he was coming for blood that year. He lost in 2002, but he won in 2003.
Okay.
He was coming for blood that year.
Yeah. And then 2004 as well, or no?
He could have, but I think maybe Iron Mike, maybe. Because I know, like, I didn't go that year.
Yeah.
I went to freestyle session that year.
So which one am I thinking about? B-Boy, we're talking about B-Boy Summit, right?
B-Boy Summit 2006.
Oh, yeah. No, yeah, that year, that was junior.
Mm-hmm.
2005.
B-Boy, that's Best of the Best in Kansas City.
Oh, did they skip a year for B-Boy Summit?
I don't know if they did or not.
Yeah.
I just knew I only went to one event a year.
Gotcha.
One, maybe two.
Yeah.
So
that's how it used to be back then. It's like, which one you going to? I do remember that moment when I was first coming in. It's like, which one do you want to do? And then it got to the point where it's like, okay, we can just go wherever.
Like, so, and I'm from the Midwest, so that flight out, there ain't gonna be nobody here like me. You know what I mean? And my thought was, well, I'm from Indiana. Like, I'm from Fort Wayne. Like, I don't care where you from. You gonna get this though. You gonna remember me.
Yeah.
And my goal wasn't really to beat everybody. I wanted to be able to hang with the best. That's a different, and it took me a long time to realize that was my initial goal. I didn't, especially when I got into the community, I did not want to be the best. I wanted to be able to hang with the best.
Yeah.
Right. Like I wanted my name to linger with them. I don't got to be cool. You can make him or her, or I don't care.
Yeah.
But as long as you could put my name in the conversation, in the cipher, regardless of what I do, then I'm cool.
I like that. Yeah.
Hey, can we put a pause on this for a moment? Can we do like a part 1 and part 2?
Oh yeah, we can pause. You ready?
I gotta check my work email.
Okay, here we go.
Yeah.
All right, and we back. So before we left, we were kind of talking about how you transitioned from that time at B-Boy Summit, where your dance was a specific way, and then also you were still a little more free-spirited. Your training was at the club, but then now you were starting to train. You're like, I gotta train now. I gotta train my pop. This is what I want to do. I want to go in this direction. What got you to that point? What made you want to start doing that?
Man, I got a chip on my shoulder. because enough people was telling me what I wasn't doing, and I wasn't this, and I wasn't that, and I wasn't a popper, and
Yeah.
this, you know what I mean? After so long, and now y'all telling me I'm not a popper, and I went, all right, all right,
Mm.
all right. Not only am I going to pop,
Yeah.
that's all I'm gonna do.
Mm.
So when you saw me at Freestyle Session 2008,
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm coming into the mind, oh, I ain't a popper, right?
Yeah.
I'm gonna show you. Let's see if I'm popping now. So
Yeah.
I came in with a chip on my shoulder against kind of everybody. No
Yeah.
disrespect, but it was kind of like on, you know, uh, it is what it is type thing. Like, oh no, I ain't a popper. We about to see. We
Yeah.
about to see today.
Yeah.
And I ain't gonna lie, karma ain't nothing. The night before that battle, I threw my neck out at Function's house. Really, really bad.
You know what else I remember that night? Do you remember we were driving home and something happened? Do you remember? We were in the car.
No,
You don't remember? Something that you did out of nowhere. Do you remember?
did I smoke?
No.
What? I don't remember.
It came for us, at least for me, it came out of nowhere. We were in the car and then the car stopped and then something happened.
I have no idea, Pimp.
You got out, you ran out the car
Uh-huh.
because you had to take a shit.
Oh shit. No pun intended.
Yeah,
Well,
yeah,
damn.
yeah. Yeah.
Hey, it, as you could tell from the look on my face, my face expression didn't even change. I
Yeah,
was
yeah.
like, yep.
Yeah, it's probably something I did, yeah.
And I trust you, so I'm like, I ain't gonna say no. Like,
Yeah.
no, man, I wouldn't do that.
Yeah. Right.
But because we was getting down at Function's house,
Uh-huh.
and uh, I was hitting my neck
Yeah.
and threw my neck out, which became a chronic injury for me in
Uh,
my dancing life. Um, so when I was at that event, I was popping a leave like every 30 minutes. Gel tab of leaves. I had hit it in my shoe
damn.
because my neck was hurting so bad, but I was so pissed off, like at everybody. Like I was cool with everybody, but I was pissed.
Uh-huh.
So I would
Remember
express
you battled someone on the side, right?
I battled I remember there was the
Yep.
stage, and then it was like right next to the stage, there was a cipher where everybody was going down, getting down and going off,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Sweepy, I remember Sweepy being there.
Uh-huh.
Like there was just a lot. Everybody, LA, it was LA.
That's the
California,
first time I saw Monster Pop. He was there.
Monster was there.
Yep.
Rashad was there. Slim,
Yep.
um, Poppin' John. It was
Nonstop.
just
That's the first time
nonstop.
LA saw nonstop.
Like it was just a jam-packed night, and but I didn't care. Like my neck was going out. I was popping them like Tic Tacs. Uh,
Yeah.
I
Damn.
really didn't have a lot of money to eat. But yeah, and I went out there with a grudge.
I feel that.
Yeah, real shit.
I bet
Anyway,
that made you mad focused though, right?
yeah,
Yeah.
I practiced like crazy. At least 4 to 6 hours a day, and I was working for the garbage company at the time. So I
Uh-huh.
would get up at 3 a.m., go drive my truck, run my route, and it's different for y'all because y'all got that arm, that pickup. I
Right.
was doing everything by hand, so
Yeah.
we had to get out the truck and do all that. So,
Yeah.
and I would try to get that done so I can go and practice to get ready to go out for this damn battle.
Got you. Damn. I feel that. You
But
really, really work for that shit.
yeah, but I didn't. But because of my influence, it put me into another situation right after freestyle session. After I won freestyle session, it put me in another situation because
Ah.
now my influence also became my crutch,
Oh, with Pete.
my inspiration. See, my
I
Pete,
remember. Yeah. I remember. Yeah.
and
You can't win with people sometimes, man. It's
no,
like,
no, no. It
yeah.
was good. I could tell you who he came from. He came from Kid Boogie. That's why
Uh-huh.
my reasoning for battle when it was me and J Rock versus Kid Boogie and Jay Smooth
Ah.
in 2009. in
Yeah.
that
Yep.
what's that little ass bar club
Carbon.
bar
Yeah.
Carbon.
Carbon.
We battled there, and my motivation was like I heard somebody say that Kid Boogie was like tell Popular to bring Popular, don't bring Pop and Pete.
Ah, I see.
And I was like, oh
Yeah.
yeah, oh yeah. You remember that night I battled at least 5 people before I even got to that battle.
Yeah.
AJ, or Asia, Kumse, uh,
Shout out
I
to
want to
Issa,
say
by
me
the way.
and you win some rounds.
Yeah.
Uh, well, maybe it was 4. You, Asia, Kumse, you. Maybe it was 3.
Okay.
Maybe it was 3. I don't gotta add shit to my who I battle. But I those and then that J Smooth versus Kid Boogie battle popped off
Right.
right after that. But
Right.
it was coming with that energy. I was like, oh yeah, oh, no, I ain't gonna bring nothing. I'm gonna bring me.
Yeah. Bro,
And
I'll tell you this right now. From what I've seen over the course of my life and my dance life as well, that's by far the realest fucking battle I've ever seen. So, big time, whatever the reason, however,
no, it was
whoever
good.
did what they did, shout out to the four of you guys for doing that. 'Cause you guys fucking battled for like 2 hours straight. Like,
Hold on. Don't put no we on that. Hold on.
well, collectively,
'Cause see,
four of y'all.
yeah,
There's four of y'all.
there you go. Because
Yeah,
I'm more straight to the point.
yeah, yeah.
Like, and it was actually Kid Boogie. Me and Kid Boogie have a long history,
Hmm.
um, battle history.
Yeah,
So I have nothing but respect for Kid Boogie.
yeah.
But
Shout out to
back
King
then,
Boogie,
he
man.
was 100% right.
Mm.
The problem that as you get older, you come to understand is I didn't have an issue. The fact that he said that and it was true, that's why I got angry.
Ah,
So in that, you acknowledge the truth. I was studying Pete like nothing, but it wasn't to take Pete. It was like I'm the
you trying to do the style?
no. Look
No.
at me. I'm bought like I'm 6 foot. Ain't no other 6 foot poppers out around that time.
Right.
You know, I was relating to what I can see,
Uh-huh.
and he like, oh, we popping, cool. He pop, that's pop. Okay, I'm kind of built, black as hell, cool, love that. Arms long as hell,
Right.
leg work, cool, love that.
Level changes.
I, I'm in there.
Yep.
Funk, cool. They've been calling me New Poppin' Pete since I started.
Mm. I see.
Like before I even cared to even go down that path, you were calling me that from your own crew member.
Mm-hmm.
But it wasn't because of I was trying to look like you. It was the word funk kept being brought up.
Ah.
You have the funk of Pete that
Ah.
and that carried,
Yeah.
But after that, that's where the change started. After 2009, Kid Boogie, Jay Smooth.
Yeah.
I'm still learning from both of them today. You
Word.
know,
Yeah, yeah.
Jay Smooth's waving class was if you didn't take it, you should take it and take whatever he's taking. Kid, Kid Boogie, like, but yeah, real talk though, yeah, they were honest, and because of that, it helped me grow. And then after 2012, there's a change. 11 after 2011, there's a change,
Ah.
and then that's where we go into where I am, my development today.
Right. Right.
Picking up styles, picking up, you know, 9 years. Anyway, 9 years of me learning style. So, for me
Mm.
not to get off course again, let's. What's some questions I can, answer that
Yeah. Okay.
get some insights on?
Definitely. Well, I think what I remember a lot, like I'll never forget for sure, is when I first, I mean, don't worry about my history, it's not about that. But let's just say I got back into dancing, started learning again,
Mm-hmm.
and I finally got to the point where I started battling, right?
Mm-hmm.
I'll never forget the first time I passed prelims, and
Hmm.
I got some footage online because back then it wasn't a lot. There was some.
So,
So for me, that was a big deal. Like, oh shit, my battle's online.
right,
So I was
right.
super excited about that. And I just remember we were at Function's house
Hmm.
and I watched it with you and J Rock.
Hmm.
And J Rock like, oh, that's cool, man. Keep working, you know. And then he left. And I'll never forget. You're like, you thought that was dope? And I'm like, well, I mean, it's okay. I guess it's okay. It's like, watch it again. Now, now watch your head. Just watch your head. We watched the whole thing, and I'm like, I see what you're saying. You're like, no, no, no. Start it over. All right. Now watch your feet. Just your feet. And you made me watch that motherfucker like 9 times or something. And then you asked me again. You thought that
So
was dope?
whoever is
You
seeing
thought
this
that
is
was
gonna
dope?
say
I was
the
like, no.
same
I was like, no. But what you did in that moment is something that I've taken with me for the rest of my life, where I can break down footage of somebody or myself and really get to the bottom of movement and intention, feeling behind what I did in that moment, like all those things. And you were able to do that. Probably, maybe it has a lot to do with the VHS era, but that's something that you gave me, and it speaks a lot to your variation in movement. So if maybe for maybe a young generation kid who might be listening to this now, um, what would you do in today's era, if different at all? Like, what would you do to help them unlock variation in their movement?
Mm. Okay. We all know that dance is 360-degree movement, right? 360 degree from head to toe.
Hmm.
But it doesn't mean that we always do a technique from that standpoint,
Yeah.
from a 360-degree standpoint, meaning you can look really dope from right here, front view, but behind you, people who standing behind you, you suck
Hmm.
because all your energy and your focus is right here,
Yeah.
and that's where the technique is. But people who can't see the technique, you suck.
Hmm.
And if the technique is on this side over here,
Yeah.
to the people on this side, you suck.
Mm. Right.
So it became to make sure you're dope in 360. Don't worry about so much focusing your dancing to, like, if you're only projecting this way,
Yeah.
cool. You understand that you still have to, people are looking at you this way too, and people are looking at you this way. So just because you think you're dope here doesn't mean you're dope when I turn the perspective around. So
Mm.
make sure you do things in a 363-degree perspective. And also make sure you can do whatever you're doing equally as slow as you can fast.
Hmm.
And then repeat that cycle over and over again. The slower you go, the more in tune with you would go. The faster you go, you start to understand the vibe of the every, like there's a yin and yang in this. You know what I mean? Like as you go slow, you start to go so slow that people can't see it anymore.
Mm.
You know what I mean? Like because now that's an internal vibe. Just like sometimes you can isolate. You be like, you didn't see that isolation? It was like
Like,
it
nah.
was nah. Like
Right. I didn't see it at all, bro. I don't know what you talking
nah, that didn't happen.
about.
See, you just don't see the dance like I see the dance. Like,
Mhm. You don't feel how I feel.
just went right over you.
Yeah. Uh,
um, yeah. Oh man.
that's good advice, man. That's actually really good. Yeah, I think we're very accustomed to what we're doing right now is this is what we got right now. Uh, so sometimes we forget about depth, and we're just so used to that,
Mhm.
and there's less ciphers. There's a lot of things that's missing, and I think maybe the people who really understand it is maybe some of the people who just enter competitions because they're getting these notes from maybe some of the judges or something like that. But yeah, maybe in a general sense, I think this is something that they might be missing. So it's good that you bring that up.
Man, and even if you win in a contest, and this is no shot at to anybody who's in the contest, but if his shoes fit, is I mean, I didn't tell you to put them on.
Right.
Uh, it goes for some people in the contest too. Sometimes you've been in a contest where, say, if you're used to facing, how many people you know that'll face the judge? We went through an era where everybody wanted to face the judges
Oh
as
yeah,
they were getting down, right?
yeah, yeah, definitely.
Now, how many you saw everybody's back, right? How many people were like, man, I just don't understand why he won?
Right. Yep.
Because he was only dope half the time.
Mm,
Half the time being the half that was visible and the other half that was not.
right.
So if you don't know how to dance with people looking at your back, then how can you dance 360? So how can you fully let yourself go if you don't know? There's funk back there too, literally.
Yeah, 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 yeah.
Oh, stupid. But like that's part of it.
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying? Like there's no depth without a backstory.
I like that. Mm, yeah.
So um, you and something else that's it's very important. Um, you can work on rhythm, but it doesn't mean anybody's going to value it at all.
Yeah.
They'll value musicality because it's easy. You're putting it in their face.
Right.
But the thing that makes you dope is the thing that gets no applause at all.
Uh-huh.
It's
Yeah.
your rhythm, the vibe, the funk, the feel, the blah 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 blah. That don't get any recognition before tat 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 tat.
Right.
You're like, oh,
Right. Yep. Yep.
but how you got there, you know, like so just understand that the thing that you've been working the hardest to, it's making you better, even if nobody sees it,
Hmm.
you know? Um, just because they don't see it yet, that's equally your fault.
Hmm.
That's not their fault.
Yeah.
That's your fault.
Hmm.
Why? Because you're the one that's expressing it. You're the one that's giving that. You're expressing your craft. Like if I wrote down important information, right? If you can't read the handwriting,
Mm-hmm.
is it my fault or your fault?
Mm-hmm. Right.
It's important information on here though.
Yeah, yeah.
But if I didn't take the time to write it so you can understand it,
Mm-hmm.
then it doesn't matter what you wrote down. It does,
Because they
but
can't.
only to you.
Right. Right.
You know? You like so that's kind of if I can share anything, you know, and be honest. So many people lie on the dance floor.
Mm. Yeah.
Like if you won a competition being somebody else, did you win? Did you lose a competition being yourself? Is that a loss?
Mm.
Once I could answer that question for myself, that took me leaps and bounds. Once you can lose being you, winning is something totally different.
Mm-hmm.
I can lose a battle and win.
Right.
How many prelims was the goal? Man, I just want to get past prelims. And then when you get past prelims, like, damn, lose in the top 16, but you got past prelims,
Mm.
got no recognition by nobody, right?
Yeah, yeah.
But you felt great in the ciphers afterwards.
Uh,
Couldn't tell you nothing. Man, I got past the prelim. So
yeah. It's like perspective.
Perspective.
Yeah. I think
And as long
perspective is like one of the strongest and most important underrated things that a human being can have in many facets, dance or no dance. I think just perspective overall is such a powerful thing.
correct,
Yeah.
correct, and is not valued as much as it should be.
Yeah.
Uh, um, to a degree, dancing is only 5% of the actual dance itself.
Mm.
The dancing, the physical movement of dancing is only 5% of what actual dancing is. That's just the parts that people see.
Mm-hmm.
There's a lot of things happening before ink touch paper or
Mm.
shoes touch floor.
Right.
You know, you and I don't care what you've practiced. One thing that you're not ready for is how you're going to feel on the day of.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
You know, how many times you picked
Yeah.
out a great outfit? You're like,
Mm-hmm.
I am ready Tuesday. I am ready Thursday.
Uh-huh.
I ain't so ready on Saturday because how you felt Tuesday and Thursday might not be how you feel. That same vibe, you might have a different, and it'll mess with your mind.
Mm. I see.
Or you'll get too dressed up for an event. Like, yeah, at home you feeling funky as hell. And then you get there feel stiff.
Mm-hmm. Right.
That's not how you felt.
Yeah. That's
You
true.
dressed for how you wanted, like the look of how
Wanted
you wanted.
to feel. Uh-huh. I see. I see.
So, um, and some people dance that way
See.
as well. They're dancing from a perspective of they're dancing from what other people expect them to do
Mm-hmm.
and outside of what they want to do. Because if they want to do is not accepted by the masses, it feels like failure.
Mm. Yeah, that happens a lot in our community for sure.
And I'm the exact opposite. If I introduce something new into the community, it can't be extracted from the community again.
Mm. Yeah.
Once you put it in there, it influences. How many times you've been in a cipher with somebody and that person has influenced you immediately?
Oh yeah, definitely. Yeah.
Well, certain things, even if other people don't want to acknowledge it, as long as you can do it with confidence, they have no choice but to pick it up.
Mm. Yeah.
Because he was like, man, he had so much confidence in that trash. What'd he do? He did this, 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 this,
All
this.
right. So you picked up all the shit that you thought was trash. Makes
You
sense.
just got to be careful on how you hear it when
Mm-hmm.
it comes back at you. You can view it as hate or you can view it as a coach. So I've learned to treat the comments as my coaches.
Mm-hmm. That's good.
Oh man, you don't dime stop enough. What you mean I don't dime stop? You think I don't dime stop? I know how to dime stop.
Right.
Shut up.
Yeah.
What he said was,
Yeah.
I don't think he dime stops enough.
Right.
Okay.
Right.
He don't pop hard enough. Okay. Now he pops too hard. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
He don't wave at all. He's one dimensional.
Mm. Right.
Okay, 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 and okay.
Right. They're giving you stuff as opposed to the other way around where it
They're
could,
hated.
it could break people down. Right.
You don't got a comment that can break me
Mm-hmm.
because I'm willing to stand behind. You know me. I stand on mine.
Yeah.
You know, not on necessarily. Not everything is about this. Most of everything in life is not about this. The
Mm-hmm.
physical ass fight of this.
Yeah.
It's more about this,
Mm-hmm.
this. Like, if you don't have that in line, then all of this. If you attack my ego, then yeah, I could be easily faltered. But if I'm guided by a different thing,
Yeah.
then no, that's a lesson. If
Mm.
I got the ears to listen. So, oh, you don't wave. One of the best compliments I've gotten was from my like I call her sis, Miss Jen, uh, from Elkhart, Indiana.
Mm. Hey.
And I was waving, and she goes, "Pop." She calls me. She goes, "Pop." Wave real quick. Waved again, waved again. Been working on it.
Yeah.
Do it one more time. Pop. That's how she said. Pop. Do it one more time.
That would get me hype if I heard that because I love to
And,
pop.
and then she goes, you don't got no elbow. She said,
Interesting.
you don't got no elbow when you wave.
Huh.
I went, mind you, I've been working on waving.
Yeah.
For her to give me that comment, I don't have an elbow in my wave. It could be a slap in the face
Sure.
to all that work I just put in.
Right.
I went, oh, word?
Mm.
Yeah, that's it.
Uh-huh.
Kept going. We ordered food, was gone. If you don't know how to understand what a gift is coming your way, you might look at it as hate. Sometimes great information is coming your way, but because you're not in the right frame of mind to take it in, you're
Yeah.
going to view it as hate,
Right.
So just be careful on what you're motivated by. Don't let your ego be your driving force. It's a balance in this.
Yeah.
Don't let it be the driving force of everything that you got going on. um
I think so.
yeah.
That's great, bro. I think that's really important. That was a great message because right now, more than ever, a lot of people are very sensitive and, they're very self conscious and they're really worried about what people think. There's just a number of things in today's society that it's like that can be totally avoided with the right mindset. And yes, it's like it comes with habit and practice. Like just the same way you practice movement, you have to practice uh, morals, mentality, just like everything, in the
Man,
same way. So that I think that's really an important message that if anyone has those feelings, they could try to apply that and see how it works for them, and probably they'll get great results.
like, man, if you have issues with how people view you in the dance community, I ask you this.
Hmm.
When you woke up this morning, did you ask anybody what to eat? Nope. When you got dressed and you was picking your stuff out for you, did you ask anybody what to wear? Maybe yes, maybe no. Your hair, maybe yes, maybe no.
Hmm.
There's so many choices you made that you didn't care what nobody thought about that choice
Yeah.
prior to you doing something that you care about,
Mm.
right?
Yeah.
So if you didn't care about nothing else, meanwhile you're gonna be seen by more people in how you dress,
Yeah.
right? Because you gotta go out in public, but you don't care about them. Somebody is looking at you right now going, that is horrible, especially in LA, California. Somebody's judging somebody right now.
Well, yeah. When you got a bunch of people coming to LA with a Hollywood mentality, it breeds it. So that's definitely going to happen. Yes.
So you gotta oh my,
Yeah.
you if you didn't care about none of that,
Mm.
then why do you care so much about this? And understand, if you feel a way, that feeling is called a sense.
Mm.
Not all senses feel just like hot feel bad, but you don't get mad at the sensation of that pain of that, do you know? Because it alarmed you that you were putting your hand on something
Hmm.
that's hazardous to you.
Yeah.
So why, when we hear something that is equally as hot,
Mm.
we have that same to ourselves,
Yeah.
not realizing that that was supposed to wake you up. It was
Uh,
supposed to enlighten you
yeah.
as to something to work on. I learned that as well. And when I read the comments, he sucks. Like, oh damn, that was straight to the point there.
Mm.
And then when they go down to the reason why they think I suck, right?
Hmm.
I have to sit back and go, oh man, they hate no. I go, well, I didn't want to work on dime stops,
Mm.
and I didn't like the wave, and I have to hold myself accountable to the comments that he has on this on this clip. So
Makes sense.
don't run from this feeling just because it hurts. Maybe it's a great indicator of something that you need to focus in on.
Yeah.
You know, dancing is you're expressing your life through dance. So as your life is going through stuff, You ever not dance for a period of time, but you've been going through some stuff and then you finally get to dance and you're like, man, I done got better. No, I've just been going through stuff.
Mm,
And now when I express it through my craft, it comes out different, you
mm.
know? But I think that comes maybe after years of understanding yourself and dance, maybe together. Um, they go like, this nigga talk with it, or this mother talk with his hands a lot. Uh,
Oh, I've seen some talking with some hands. You okay?
like I'm least animated to what I'm talking about. Like, man, who's going up this hill, man? I was like, dang, I'm tired. Like,
Yeah. Let's go. Storytelling. Let's go.
uh,
That's
but
dope.
yeah,
I feel
what's
that,
another?
bro. So yeah, I would say I mean we could talk all day to be quite honest, but like what do you feel is something you really want to express to the new generation?
I want to help people. Look, I speak from a spiritual standpoint, not a religious standpoint, a
Mhm.
very spiritual standpoint, because that's where my dancing come from. You can't have feeling without having the understanding. Like I'm a vessel. You know
Mm,
what I mean? So you got to understand that your dancing is more than what you think it is. If
mm,
you think of it of just the ego from the ego perspective, then that's all you're gonna get from it.
right.
But you can learn a lot about yourself. Um, this can really help you tap into who you are. You
Mm,
know what I mean? A lot of times you could be dancing for years and still not know who the hell you are.
right. Right. Yeah.
You know, uh, this really helps you be able to express that. You just got to be. I think the most important thing is you have to be honest, and the spirit, the feeling, and all of that will come along with just being honest. Like, and do it with courage. Be honest with courage. Look somebody in the face when they don't like what you do, and go. Can you go thank you internally?
Mm,
But also go. So once you can do that honestly, you will actually be dancing. You know how many times somebody been looking at me like I suck because they don't know understand how I get down just because I that's how I naturally move, right? Like,
mhm.
man, what he on? And I look at you square in the face and then go, you better figure it out because you're gonna get smoked regardless.
Hey.
Regardless if you understood what smoke you or not, it still doesn't change the fact that you're dead.
Mm, I feel that.
So uh learn to be honest, and I promise you, a lot of times we wait for other people to define that we're dope, not realizing you were dope before you ever started dancing. And
Mm,
a lot of the things that we go to the workshops for is just that maybe we'll learn a technique to help us bring out our internal dope.
yeah.
No, if you just be on, no, yes, but you have to be honest to
Mm,
who you are. Like a lot of times, teachers are selling you back to you. That's what we're doing. Like, hey man, you know what? If you roll your shoulder like that and bring it back, that'll look real good with everything else that you're doing. What
mhm.
did I just do? I just sold you back to you. You
Mm,
are already dope, but you're waiting for me to give you permission to be it.
uh, I see.
Doesn't mind you, my definition of dope ain't gonna fit yours, but they used to call that funk. Because if I came down the street in a certain in silk and my platinum, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And I was doing my like you couldn't tell a person nothing, right? That man funky. He living that man funky. But you like that man, that's Curtis. That's how Curtis do his thing. Go ahead.
You, uh, something happened with the audio. You sound like you're in a little tin can trying to get out. What? I don't know
I
why.
bet you that sounded hilarious with all the voice I already throw into shit. I was like,
Okay.
how about now?
A little bit better, but it's still there. Want to try
Uh,
again? Maybe you should
yeah.
just keep clicking it. I don't know.
Hello?
I can hear you. It's kind of same.
It's I don't know.
It's all
Nothing
good.
really changed. Maybe the digital signal has shifted a little bit.
Got you. Okay.
Let me. Well, I can hang up and try to call back.
I think
And
we're
then black out in a second. This is gonna be bad. We gotta cut this part out. Uh,
good. uh,
I think everything that we're talking about right now
yeah.
is 100% valid. What I like to do is I want to help people understand the spiritual aspect of what they're doing.
Mm,
And that is also helping them understand themselves, right? Because if you don't understand this part, you don't understand the process. You know
mm,
what I mean? Understand
yeah.
yourself, connection to how many times you've been in your dance in the house by yourself and be tapped in. Yeah, you dancing, but you ain't even thinking about dancing anymore.
Right.
You thinking about something else. It don't got nothing to do with dancing at all. As you're listening to the song and you get into that sweet spot, you're no longer thinking about nothing. Twist and flexes don't matter. But as you hear the song, you start to relate, you start to reflect, you start to, and that's honesty right there.
Yeah.
But to do that in front of people is terrifying.
Mm,
Doing that in front of people is terrifying. I I've learned to make that the standard.
mm. Do you, what would you say to some of those that are having trouble getting over that obstacle? Like, what worked for you to get over that?
I have a rip off the band-aid approach.
Mm,
Sometimes when you can feel each individual hair, sometimes we will think that each hair pull is going to equate to what we're trying to avoid, which is the wound itself.
mm.
And sometimes just pulling a hair hurts more than taking it off the wound.
I see.
So I've learned to go
WAP. Mm.
pour that alcohol on it, pour some glue on it,
Mm.
cover it back up. Don't hurt no more. And eventually you'll get used to that pain where now you don't even feel it no more. You know
Right.
it's going to hurt.
Mm.
You
Yeah,
know, the moment that it stops hurting is moment that you might need to check on it.
I see. Yeah.
The moment that things are no longer bothering you and you're not getting criticism, you know, things feel so easy. You might need to check on that because just because you get accolades doesn't mean you are acquiring progression.
Mm. I feel that. I feel that.
So your progression happens when you feel like crap.
Yeah. That's a gem, bro. I love that. All right, man. All right. Well, yes, yes.
We can always do this any other time. I'm long winded, so this will be an 8 hour skit. Like, oh,
Bro, trust.
special. Uh,
Special. Bro, trust. We used to talk for like 3 hours at a time, so I get it.
yeah, sir.
Um, but yeah, we'll
And
leave
if
it with
anybody
that.
don't understand,
Let's,
hit me up.
yes, please do hit him up. You're also teaching privates, correct?
Yes, yes. Just hit me up if you're trying to understand a little bit about yourself um, through this dance, or you're just weird crossroad yourself, maybe the spirit of it, and then what it looks like, the ego. If you're at a crossroad and needs somebody to talk to help you get through that little bump, because that's all it really is a mental bump that looks like a
Hmm.
mountain. Um, and if you need help getting over that, that's what I'm here for. There's plenty of people out there that can help you with techniques. Um, there's plenty of people out there for that, and all of them are great. Um, but understand that they are no more important than you. If you don't know who you are prior to them talking to you, then you don't know how to apply that information they're giving you. That's why you keep taking classes. If
Mm,
you don't know who you are, you're looking for these other people to help you
right.
find it. And how do you apply? Oh man, I don't know how to apply all this information. Cool, because you never applied it to you.
Mm.
So I'm here to help you with that. And
Hey,
my brother, you stay blessed.
thank you, bro. Appreciate you, man. Thank you for jumping on here. And Yeah, man, I really appreciate our conversation, and we can definitely do this a lot more often.
Yeah,
Um, but
there's
yeah, I
only
just
one or two
wanted
things
people
gonna
to.
happen from this.
Yeah.
There's only one or two things happening from this. One, you be like, oh man, that was real insightful. That helped me. Or two, pop crazy as hell. Or three, I forgot.
There's a
All the
three.
above. Either way, though, the whole point of it, it's me. That's the whole
Right.
point of
Yeah. And we
it.
need that. So I'm happy you got to share more about you. I want more people to understand what you're about because you bring something to the table that not a lot of people do. And you come it from, like you said, a spiritual, but also like a very specific mental approach that allows things to come out in a physical form that I think not a lot of people they go that direction. So I really appreciate you coming and sharing that with us.
Yes, sir. Hey, and I'll leave out on this. Make that mental image, or whoever that mental image is in your head of perfection, make sure that person is you.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Because if not, you're never going to attain it.
Mm. I like that.
Y'all have a blessed one.
Thank you, brother. Appreciate that,
No,
man.
no problem, Pim.
All
Peace.
right.